Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. And again, we're going to dive back into the Michael Singer video. This is a video course called Living from a Place of Surrender. And this is session 7 out of 8. So here we go, hopefully. Give me a second. There we go.
Occupancy apartment. There's nobody else in there. Your kids aren't in there. Your wife's not in there. Your husband's not in there. Nobody else is in there. You're in there. It can be any way you want it to be. Out here, can it be any way you want it to be? Of course not. It has to answer to the influences that are causing it to be the way it is. It's got 13.8 billion years of influences. Everybody's influencing out here. So there, it can't be the way you want. In here, there's nobody else in there. That's what's so funny. It's so much harder to work outside, all right? But to work inside, there's no competition. It's just you. But you don't understand. It seems people say, no, my mind's really powerful. No, it's not. Your mind is brilliant, just like a computer is brilliant. But if that computer's showing you things that you shouldn't be looking at and freaking you out all the time with blood and this and that, all right, you went to that website. You didn't do it, okay? It's just an open internet. You can do whatever you want with it. Your mind is clean, it's empty, it's free. You are the one that's holding the stuff in there. You are the one that's focusing on the different impressions that are in there. You are the doer. You are the only doer in there. There is no one else in there. Do not give up your power by saying my mind is more powerful than me. You made your mind, all right? Yes, if you get it messed up enough, it's hard to deal with it, but you did it, all right? And the same thing with your heart. So now that you've owned it, but this is something you should like to own. Why? I just empowered you. That was a big word in the 80s. People want to be empowered. You are 100% empowered. Nobody, see, surrender. I'm teaching you surrender right now. It didn't take your power away. It's giving you power. You took your power away by giving it up to these impressions. You gave your power away to the event that happened when you were 6 years old that you couldn't handle. You gave your power, your freedom, your right to it. You hear me? Right? You need to take it back. That's what we used to call it. You're going to call it regaining your kingdom. You're the king or queen in there. You're the boss. There's nobody else in there. Don't you dare let it push you around. So, but you can't. Now the question becomes, all right, if I want to work on it, I know I do, how do I do this? All right, let's start off with what you don't do. First, you don't try to limit your joy by manipulating the world around you until it matches what you've decided you need. I hope I've convinced you of that. You will not succeed. It does not work. That is, the best you can do is get it for a moment, then you'll get tired of it. All right? Or you'll change your mind about what you want. So you put out all that effort, buy a new car, go on, work nights, do all kinds of things. I'm like, fine, I want you to have a new car. You go there, you get the new car. You tell me how long it takes before getting in that car and driving to work feels exactly the same as your old car or house or anything, right? Okay, usually it's a couple of weeks until everybody's impressed. You took everybody for a ride. Now he's in your car. There's Mary. There's nothing. It doesn't do anything for you anymore, right? The new smell goes away. You can't even say, oh, it smells new, right? So now it's just your car and you're left with the payments. That's what happens. Things cannot make you okay. So the first thing you don't do is think, I need to manipulate and control the world to get it the way my impressions are telling me I need to get it, so I'll be okay. Second, you don't go in there and say, and a lot of people.
All right. What did you just hear? Anyone?
Just what we were talking about yesterday, that it's the external stuff has nothing to do with it. Your life.
Are you buying into this, that manipulating the outside world is not going to make you feel better on the inside? Yay, nay, believe it, don't believe it, because this is a fundamental shift in the way you've thought your entire life, because you have spent your entire life trying to get the outside world to conform to your inner needs. That's what you have done. No one should not understand that. And now we're saying that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. I don't care about your intentions. I don't care about your goals. There's nothing in the outside world that's going to make you feel better other than for a moment or two. Yay, nay? Give me some feedback.
You're absolutely right.
Quite right. And if
Yes.
you ever get stuck in a lawsuit, sometimes you just got to go with the flow and get yourself out of it. You can't change it if it's heading a certain way.
Does everyone want to acknowledge that you've spent your entire life trying to do this? Yes,
Pretty
no?
much. Control?
To get the outside world to do what you want it to do so you could feel better on the inside.
Absolutely.
I want to acknowledge that that's how you have spent your entire life.
And get disappointed when it doesn't.
Right.
I would say so.
And you've been very judgmental of yourself in the process, that you take credit for when it happens and then you feel like crap when it doesn't happen.
Yep.
You know, you either acknowledge this or you don't. This is fundamental. Does everyone get this?
Yes.
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 You know, here's what I want you all to understand. This is how you spend your life right here. What are you looking at all day long, every single day of your life? Right here. What are you looking at, everybody?
Yourself.
Yourself. And what part of yourself are you looking at? Every day, right here.
The external.
No, your ego, your fucking ego. That right there, every day. Your whole life is what? What are you looking at every single day? What do you look at?
Trying to make it look good.
No, you look at all your fucked upness, okay? All your shit right there every day. This is what's wrong with me. This is what's wrong with the world every day, right here. And I got my face stuck in it every day. And when your face is stuck in it every day, what happens?
You feel like shit.
Right. Because that's all you see.
You lose perspective.
Right. Imagine this. Imagine this. If you want to doubt me for a second. Now, who's looking at your ego, by the way?
Just us.
Who's
Your
looking?
ego. Your ego.
No, you.
Fuck.
Your awareness. That's who's looking. Your ego is not you, your thoughts, your feelings. That's not you. It's the awareness of those thoughts and feelings. That's who looking at your stuff every day. You are. Now imagine if you went out into the universe. Imagine you're up at Mars looking down. Your awareness is up at Mars looking down on planet Earth, trying to find you. How would that change things?
Perspective.
This would what? Anyone?
Diminish.
It'd be nothing. Why? You can't see this from where?
Mars.
We've got to separate. We have the wrong perspective. Most of you are right here. Some of you might be a little wider territory. We've got to create space between our awareness, who we are, and our stuff, which is who we're not. Does this make any sense to anybody?
Steve, it
Yes.
sounds like
Yes,
the A
absolutely.
and base. Oh, I was gonna say, it sounds like the A and base for Patrick Sweeney to like take a step back and assess.
I'm not I'm just saying, if we get space, if we put real space between our shit and where we are, our shit doesn't look so what?
Important.
Important. And all the stuff that you worry about every single day, the reason why you do it is your face is planted in it every day. As if what?
If it matters.
As if you make a fucking difference. You're a speck who's going to be eaten by worms. When are you going to get this? Who in this group is responsible for putting Perseverance on Mars right now? Who contributed to that? Who did?
I paid some taxes.
All right. And unless you're doing something like that, what the hell are you doing? Looking at your shit every day?
All
So
those
that-
people need houses.
But yeah, people need houses, but that's not what you do. You worry about what? Whether you
Me?
can pay your bills. Think about this for a second. If a realtor could sell a home a month, most would be happy with that. Would you disagree?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Oh, no.
Most would be happy with that, right? So if you're selling one home a month, what does that mean? What does that mean in plain terms?
A paycheck a month.
What it means is you succeed one day every month and fail for the other 29 days every month. Do you understand that? When you're chasing a deal, that's your batting average. 1 out of 30. I win one day, I lose 29. How depressing is that? No wonder you have your face where? Everyone's going, what is wrong with this man? We've got to create a different perspective on what we're doing. That's why I talk about, rather than trying to do a deal, what do we need to do every day?
Process.
Build relationships, help people, be of service. If we're building relationships every day, how many days of the month can we win?
Every day.
Every day. We can feel good every day. If you want to know why you feel so crappy every day, because you lose almost every single day the way you've set the game up. We've got to create some space in our life. We have to have a bigger perspective. Are we, we're only here for a small, short period of time. Is it truly not a miracle that we're here? Yes or no?
Of course.
It's an absolute miracle. And so we're going to be here and all we're going to look at is our stuff. That's what we're going to do for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. Just look at us. What's the point? Because every day we look at our stuff, we're going to feel what?
Terrible.
We're going to feel crappy. I mean, who wants to look at our stuff every day? And yet that's what we do. So get a bigger picture. Get over yourself. Make an effort to help mankind every day. Create some separation between you and your stuff. And how do you create separation? How do you create separation?
Awareness.
Meditate.
Meditating.
No, focus on other people. Get over yourself. Do something before the worms eat you, please. All right, hold on. Who's ever not on mute, please hit mute. There's a few of you. Thank you.
People do this. I did it when I started. That's why I'm here to share with you. I want you to skip the mistakes I made. To sit there and say, my mind is a problem. It's negative. It doesn't shut up. It complains all the time. It finds something wrong with everything, right? The lunch isn't as big as it was last time. It's not exactly the temperature that I want. It's humid outside. Oh my God, it's 90 degrees. I'm sweating. Hey, it's got something to say, doesn't it? All right. The driver in front of me, believe me, I'll keep giving you that one, right? Like, my God, you're 5 miles below the speed limit. You're supposed to be 5 miles above. I always drive 5 miles above. They won't stop you for blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's just in there causing me a hard time. It's not a lot of fun. That's what it does. I'm going to shut it up. Anyone who's teaching you mind control, pick up your bags, put on your shoes, and run. Mind control has nothing to do with spiritual growth. It has nothing to do with this. It is the same as world control. Right? Go out there and control the world so that it doesn't bother you. Go out there and control your mind so that you don't have to be so bothered. There is a reason the world is the way it is. I spent a lot of time teaching that, didn't I? I hope you respect that now, right? There's a reason. The truth of the matter is, and no one likes when I say it, every moment in front of you is perfect. It is the perfect result of every single force that caused it to be that way. Do you understand that? If you took all the inputs from the beginning of time, it would say, wow, that's a miracle. It's exactly right. All right? It's not perfect what I want. It's not perfect morally. It's not perfect any of this stuff, right? It's not optimal necessarily, but it is perfect. Do you understand that? You have to start there to understand it is exactly the way that all the forces would cause it to be. And those forces go back to the beginning of time. Take a break.
All right. What is that saying? Anyone? What is that saying?
Every moment is perfect.
Okay,
Acceptance.
what does that mean?
Accepting as things as they are.
Just let it be.
Well, hold on. Before we accept things as they are, we need to understand what?
Can't control it.
Every moment is exactly what it's supposed to be. Why?
Because everything is perfect. Life is perfect.
Because all these forces that have been in effect for 13.8 billion years, all of this has come together and created what?
The moment.
The moment. It's not perfect in the sense of what?
What we think it should be.
What we think it should be or what we want it to be. It's perfect in the sense of what?
It is. It's reality.
It is exactly what it's supposed to be, given everything that has happened. And so if it's exactly the way it's supposed to be, then we have two choices. What are they?
Accept it,
Accept it or what?
fight it.
Resist it. Exactly. And what do we spend most of our day doing? Resisting it, right? Rather than accepting it. We resist it, and instead we try and do what?
Mess with it.
We try and make it into what we want it to be. And when you do that all day long, at the end of the day, you're what?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Because if the world would do what we wanted to do, then every day what would happen?
It'd be easy.
We'd sell a home every day. If the world, if we could get the world to do what we wanted to do, we'd sell a home every day. Am I incorrect?
No.
No, sir.
It doesn't
Steve?
work that way, does it? We don't get the work. And why can't we make the world do what we want it to do?
Because we're a speck in the universe.
And what does that mean, Stephanie?
That means we don't control anything outside of
There's
our
13.8 billion years of cause and effect. And how many people on this planet?
too many.
Too many.
How many people on this planet?
7 to 8 billion.
It's 7.7 billion. And everyone, all 7.7 billion people are trying to do what?
Live their life.
Control.
They're trying to get the outside world to do what they wanted to do, right? And so 13.8 billion years, 7.7 billion people, all trying to influence the outside world. And somehow we think what?
We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it. Is that not ridiculous?
Mhm.
Is that not ridiculous? When you put it in those terms, does it not seem ridiculous? And then if you think for a second, if you were to disappear today, what really changes?
Nothing.
Not a whole lot.
I mean, am I wrong? All of you go, God almighty, thank God he's gone. I don't know if I could take another day.
Not even close.
Not a whole lot would change, correct?
What about like all of our responsibilities, like, you know, providing for our children and our family and all of those things that we need to do?
To hell with those snotty-nosed little brats. Okay, entitled little shits. It'd be good
Oh,
for them.
just damn it.
It'd be good for them. No, but the answer is, Barbara, someone would take over. That's the answer. Or they would figure it out, one or the other.
I mean, today while I'm here, like it's my job to provide for them. And so then,
Again, if you disappeared today, somehow they would get through the day, correct?
yes.
And then somehow they would get through the week, and then life would go on.
Uh-huh.
And life would go on. The world would not ground if any of us disappeared. If all of us disappeared today, the world's not grounding to a halt.
Mm-mm.
The world is not grounding to a halt. Life happens every day, no matter what. And so we have a choice. And life happens what? Moment by moment. And so we have a choice. We can either embrace the perfection of each moment, or we can resist and make the world all about us. That's what we can do. And when we make the world all about us, then we're just staring at our crap every single day. And that's what we do. So again, I want all of you to think about, what if I just create some separation between my awareness and my stuff? And I start to look at a bigger picture every day. And I start to think about, how can I help the world in some way? How can I help the world in some way. Instead of focusing on my nonsense, like he was talking about, how many of you have ever been in the car cursing out the driver in front of you because they weren't going 5 miles over the speed limit?
Yeah.
I live in a canyon where bikers ride up and down the street all day long in my canyon.
Bastards.
Bastards.
Those are my friends.
And they take up the whole road, oblivious to anyone in a car. How many times a day do you think those people are chewed out by the person driving in their own head?
Been there.
Right? We do that shit all the time.
Steve, what you're describing is actually feels really good when you do it, right? But it's also so hard to be that way all the time. Why do you think that is?
Habit. Just habit. Are you asking why are we that way all the time?
Why is it so, if it's so freeing and you feel so connected when you have that mindset of just letting things be, it also feels like you're jumping off a cliff.
Well, it's again, because we're not, this is what we're trying to get. That's not how we've lived our life. We hold on to everything. We're back up for a second, Jan. Was it Janice?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have willpower. As a human being, we are blessed with willpower. And we use our willpower in 3 ways: to either cling, resist, or let go. And most of what we do is what? Cling or resist. This is his whole point. And we keep all that energy in ourselves, everything that's happened to us in our life, because we have a filter of I like this or I don't like this, we're either clinging or resisting, and therefore everything, all our past is where? Still inside us. And so when something new happens in the outside world, what is it hitting? It's hitting our stuff. It's hitting our past. And we're not even reacting to reality. What are we reacting to? Our impression, our personal version of what's going on in the world. What we have to let go of is everything. And why do we want to let go of everything?
Because it's in the past.
Because it's all temporary. Everything in life is what? Transient. Everything come and goes. Nothing lasts forever. We come into this world with nothing. We leave with nothing. Any attempt to hold on or resist is futile. There's not a single one of us that can fight gravity. Who can go up a 100-story building and step off the building and not go down? Who can do that? And yet that's what we're attempting to do every day when we're trying to control the outside world. We're trying to defy gravity. And if you want to know why you're so exhausted and unfulfilled at the end of the day, because you spend all day trying to defy gravity.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Look, it's especially as realtors, there's this need to be significant all the time, especially in our culture. Like we all want to be famous for a moment or be significant. And I feel like, we're all going to end up in the same place, and that's like in Stoic philosophy, the major component of life is learning to let go of everything, because that's what you're going to do anyway. You're going to let go. You let go of your kids, you let go of your health at some point, you let go of your life. Like it's all about learning to gracefully let go. And anything that you achieve it's fleeting. You can't attach yourself to it. And that's to me, that's, you know, many times that's where I feel miserable, is when I feel insignificant. And being significant is just a fallacy. It's, you know, it's like that's where so much pain comes from.
Right. As long as we're clinging or resisting, we're going to end up in pain. We're going to suffer. We learn to let go. We learn to let go of everything. That's when we can experience life in a very different way. Thank you for being here, everybody. Bye-bye.
Great call. Thanks, Coach.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Coach.